this time, Dr. Perigin, would you lead us in?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, we have the moment of silence, and I'd like for us to remember the Michael Lloyd family. Michael was a custodian at Meadowview Elementary, and he passed away this week suddenly. So let's pause for a moment of silence. Thank you. All right, 1.05, approved meeting agenda.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to approve the meeting agenda.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all of those in favor? All right, thank you. At this time, 2.01, Dr. Perigin with the Stay in the Game Award winners.
Madam Chair, members of the board, very excited tonight to recognize two of our high schools for earning the Virginia High School League Stay in the Game Award. Every year, our athletes have an opportunity to play for district championships and regional championships and state championships. That is sometimes a hard goal to achieve. But one goal that our student athletes and our coaching staffs can achieve every year is the Stay in the Game Award. And that award is given out to high schools who go through the fall, winter, and spring sports season in JV and varsity athletics and have absolutely zero ejections for unsportsmanlike activities from both coaches and players. There are over 300 high schools in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and only 60 of those high schools earned this award this past year, and two of them are right here in Washington County, Virginia. We have representatives from those high schools here with us tonight. From Holston High School, we have Gabe Long, who I think you all know, and our new athletic director at Holston High School, Jamie Hughes. Please come forward. The expectation this continues, Mr. Hughes.
That's right. That's right.
We do appreciate it. So. And from Patrick Henry High School, Mr. Duncan had to be out, couldn't be with us tonight for personal reasons. And our athletic director at Patrick Henry is also our head football coach, and they're having their media day this evening, so he couldn't be here. But Miss Montsia Bias, the new assistant principal, is here representing not only them, but the entire athletic staff and student body at Patrick Henry High School, and they also achieved this award as well. So congratulations.
Do we have board members with any comment?
Ashley reminded me, we'd like to get a picture with those folks before they head out. So if y'all don't mind to come up. This is one of the times we can get folks from Patrick Henry and Holston together without having a big rivalry. We're all in this together.
We played each other in every sport too.
That's right.
See?
With no-
Hey, high five on that. That's right.
Yeah, we won't talk about all.
I need to go on the short one. Okay.
Okay, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Okay, any board members with comments?
I'll say something. Just like to commend you all. There's a lot of great rivalries across the state, as you all well know, and I'm sure you have some out of district, but just being separated by a river and a concrete bridge between Holston and Patrick Henry is good to see. Obviously, you all both have good, fruitful athletic programs. You really do well at that. And not only being athletes, but they're good student athletes as well, and good kids. So congratulations to doing that. And like you said, the expectations just go up every year for at least the same, if not worse. But we won't hold that pressure against you. Just work towards it to the best that you possibly can. So congratulations.
Yes.
I'd like to congratulate each and every one of you. You got to look at the administration and the coaches too. They sort of, the kids feed off, the athletes feed off the coaches. And me being a Virginia High School League official for 43 years, I've seen a few coaches come and go during the game. But anyway, I really commend your coaching staffs and you as leaders of your school for what y'all done. And like Dr. Brandon says, keep up the good work. Thank you.
Anyone else? I'd like to say a special welcome to Jamie Hughes for joining the Cavalier staff. I made sure when I went back there that he had enough Holston attire to get through. So.
And I
All right.
coached Jamie, and he never saw me get ejected, so that helped. He's got a good example.
He's got a good example.
And stepping into a
It
good
wasn't that
one,
big
too.
of an adjustment. He went from black and orange to black and red. So he could have just turned the collar down and went from there. So,
Yeah, but that H on the front
Oh, that's
stands,
right.
yeah. Okay. 3.01, Student School Board Representative Report. Dr. Perry.
Madam Chair, it's been a long summer without school board reps showing up to tell us what's going on in their schools, and we have our first two of the group that are here with us tonight, and we're going to start with Casey Ball from Holston High School. You can stand up, sit down, whatever you're more comfortable.
I would gladly sit
You're
down.
setting the tone for everybody for the rest of the year, so whichever you choose.
My name is Casey Ball, and I'm a senior at Holston High School. Everything has been running really smoothly since the first day of school. We've had great attendance, and the classes have been amazing. Everyone's adjusted very well to the cell phone policy. It's nice to see real communication between people and interaction, and so that's something that I think is an adjustment for some, but I think it's been a benefit.
Thank you.
All right, and we also have Lillian Early. She is a student at Abington High School, but she's representing the Washington County Career and Technical Education Center.
So because we haven't had very much school, honestly, there's not too much to say, but the thing, it's been going really smoothly. The first day, it was basically a lot of introductions. Miss Muncie and Mr. Keith came around every classroom, introduced themselves. The second day, we had a meeting to talk about the cell phone policy and like dress code and all those important things, and they split it up between 3 groups so it wasn't overly crowded. There has been very few people dropping the NEF, which is really good for us. And everyone's really excited to be back. Everyone chooses to be there, so they know they want to be. It's been a great
And Lillian, what class are you taking at the Career and Technical Center?
I'm in the second year of drafting, so architectural drafting.
Good deal. And of course, you have Miss Smith there. That going well?
Oh, she's great.
Yeah, she is. And how about Casey? What's your favorite class at Holston?
So the only class I'm taking right now at Holston is government. All of my other ones are dual enrollment that don't start until the 25th, or governor's school, which starts Wednesday. So we've had a lot of real communication and conversations between classmates and some very long games of Uno.
But once we get that enrollment started for the dual enrollment students, then we have a different plan for them. But in the meantime, as we're waiting for the college to get started, they do have some good opportunities for communication. And that's at all 4 of our schools.
Lots of library time.
Yeah, library time for sure.
Okay.
Casey, did Mr. Long offer you a supplement or any paid stipend?
He did not.
He did not?
No.
Okay.
We had our senior meeting today, but
We'll find some NIL if she'll stay around with us next year.
And you do have a big rock.
yes,
Thanks.
we do. The seniors got a new big rock this year, and so we're going to design it and decorate it as our little senior remembrance.
Start looking for next year.
They're big, so once you place them wherever you drop them off.
All right, 4.01, Superintendent's Report.
Well, I'm glad I have these ladies here to second what I'm saying. We really have had a very smooth opening to the start of school. The amount of planning and preparation that's gone into getting school open by our administrative team and their schools and, of course, our central services, it's evident because it was day one of school. Just went remarkably smooth. I was able on Thursday to visit every school. That takes the better part of the day for sure, but it started out riding the bus in the Abingdon Elementary Zone, and then went to Greendale Valley Institute the back way, and then started working my way back up. And really, on day one, other than some a couple of uncontrollable things that happened at Glade Middle that was completely out. I mean, really, the first day of school was just went off without a hitch. I have ridden the bus in 3 of our 4 high school attendance areas already. I'll ride in the Patrick Henry area tomorrow. If you ever really want to see a different perspective of how a school day gets started, I would encourage you, if you get a chance this year, Mr. Hawk can arrange it for you, just to jump on a bus route, whether it's in the morning or the afternoon. But it is really, it is eye-opening to see a lot of things. You know, some of the narrow roads that our drivers are driving on, and some of the challenges that they face, and you know how our bus drivers greet kids with a smile, and our folks that are waiting for the kids to get off the bus at the schools. It's a whole different perspective. So I enjoy doing that, and hopefully get an idea of what our bus drivers are going through too. We have had really good reviews of our pre-service activities. Some takeaways, we sent out a survey to staff. Some of the takeaways are that staff really like to have and would like to have even more time in their buildings. They like the succinct and small group convocations that we've been doing the last couple of years, separating into 3 different groups. And they also enjoy the time for collaboration. But probably the biggest feedback about how we can improve convocation is by giving them more time in their classroom. And so, you know, we'll continue to look for that. But, you know, when you combine the convocation and the district office activities all into a morning, and then we're already doing 2 flex days, we're going to have to continue to be creative to find ways to get teachers more time in their classrooms. But we do understand, because there's a lot of prep work that goes into getting ready for kids to come on that first day of school. As far as enrollment goes, you know, we're about 50 students from our budgeted enrollment at the current time. I don't put a lot of stock in that on day 3, because we have a lot of comings and goings and kids that we're out looking for. I hesitate to make any assumption about what our numbers are going to be for the year till at least the 10th day of school. But we're within the ballpark anyway with where we're starting on day 3. And so I would like to recognize Miss O'Neill. Our cafeterias are serving about 7,000 meals every day. It's a little heavier towards lunch than it is breakfast, but still 7,000 meals a day. You multiply that by 180, that's going to be a lot of food served in Washington County Public Schools, and our kids don't have to pay a penny for it. So, and the meals are great. I've ate at all 3 days. I've ate at a school, and the walking tacos today, man, not only were they good, but they were very filling as well. And then as far as our bus transportation, we're driving about 6,000 miles every single day. And so I think if you look at that, if you put all those together, that's going from here to California and back. So that's a lot of travel that's going on out there. So a lot of great things going on. Kids seem to be happy and enjoying it. The high schools, as you said, are getting used to the slight change to the cell phone policy, which is, you know, just simply that students can't have their phones during lunch at the high school, but really no changes to the elementary and middle. But, you know, really good cooperation from our students, which I appreciate that too. So, Madam Chair, that's all that I have to share at this point, but there'll be plenty more to share throughout the course of the year.
Thank you. Dr. Wallace, would you check to see if we have any public comment?
No one has signed up.
No public comment. We'll move on to 6, the consent agenda. Do I have any that would like to be pulled out for discussion? Hearing none, I'd like to have them. You have one?
No, I'm not going to pull anything, but I would love to make a motion.
Thank you.
No, but, so I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you. Second, discussion. Hearing none. All in favor? 6.01, 6.07 approved. Now we go to 7, first reading policy for consideration. Now we have several policies listed, 7.01 to 7.19. Do I have any that would like to be pulled out for discussion?
Madam Chair, I just have a comment.
on the cell phone policy, is this our first or second reading of it? Because I thought we reviewed it during the board retreat.
Mr. Lambert's going to share with you a little bit about the cell phone policy and the other policy that we had on first reading last month.
So last month, we did bring the cell phone policy to first reading. However, the legal reference and cross-references need to be updated, and so they were not correct. So we wanted to make sure that was correct. That's why we brought it back to first reading. And the second item was the accelerated math for grades 5 through 8. We're anticipating changes at the State Department. That didn't have to go into play until July 2026. So instead of running that policy through, we're going to sit on that, see what changes come about. And we're ready to roll with it, procedures and forms and all that, but there was no reason really to bring it to you all right now.
I'd like to ask Mr. Lambert on the student athlete extreme heat safety and protection, what changes?
So that's a new policy. And so really the 5-tier system using the bulbs are in place. Brad Bussey and Ashley Johnson are our athletic trainers. They have been behind putting that policy together. And so it's broken down by tier. Coaches every day, if it's 80 degrees or warmer, coaches outside, they're checking the temperature every 15 minutes. We've been blessed the last couple weeks with some cooler weather. But that is being documented. Mr. Bussey, Ms. Johnson are in the loop. It's leveled, so if we go up each tier, then we're certainly making adjustments with increased water breaks, more rest time, helmets off, shoulders pads off, even to tier 5, canceling or delaying practices or games.
Mr. Chair, I got a question too. Who's responsible? I know Mr. Bussey and our other trainer. If, like say, if they're that one's at Abbey, one's at Battle, who is responsible at the other schools for the wet bulb?
So the coaches are testing it every 15 minutes. They are monitoring that and recording that.
So just to be clear, layman's terms, if the temperature is above 90 degrees, practices or is it just events and games will be canceled?
It could be practices or games.
Okay.
And they could be delayed, they could be canceled. Mr. Bussey, Ms. Johnson, one of them will be in contact with Dr. Perigin. If he's not available, it'd be myself to make decisions on what we need to do.
Even like common sense, you could delay it a couple hours because after like the sun goes down, the heat goes down.
I know for a fact here a few years ago, instead of going at 7 o'clock, a lot of people was hot went at 8. So I mean, it'd be easy. The communication will be the key to that, because you don't want somebody sitting in those bleachers at 6:30 waiting for a 7 o'clock kickoff, and then they didn't get the information of the game starting at 8. So.
And this is for cross-country runners, anyone that's outside. So yes, the communication is the key piece there.
Does this also include band practice?
Yes, it would.
Okay.
Any extracurricular activity where we got our kids out.
Yes, sir.
We're interested in this one.
What type of in-service training did all the coaches get and by who?
Mr. Bussey led that. Ms. Johnson was included, but he did training for the whole division.
Can I follow up?
Yes, sir.
File GCE substitute teachers, changes or what?
The biggest change there is there's a little bit of language in for what a long-term sub qualifies for now. It may only end up being in there a couple of years, but right now the 90-day rule is still in effect. Basically, you can do a long-term sub for 90 days. If you're going to go over 90 days, then they've put some parameters in that have to be in place. Have to have a baccalaureate degree, can't be eligible for provisional license. There's a couple things that are in there that. But most of the time when we get to that, we have offered a contract. We've had a couple that we went past 90 days, but anyway, it used to be just 90, and then during COVID, they extended it to 180, and then went back to 90, and now this is kind of like a meet in the middle.
Sure.
That's kind of the way I took it, basically.
I noticed on reading it was 21 years of age. Is that new?
That has been our policy.
We've always
Our
had
practice,
it.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Has there
any-
been any discussion to, like, maintenance or custodian substitutes to be 18?
Well, that's only with substitute teachers that we've set that bar. We've allowed, but what we have historically done is try to restrict where they work. So if you're hiring an aide, we've had 19-year-old aides, but we try to place them at elementary schools. We try to keep them away from high school. If we have custodians, we try to do evening instead of putting them during the day where they're around kids all day. So try to keep the age separation.
Well, substitute teaching is a big business that people don't realize on the ancillary of us hiring every day. I don't know what we average a day, but it's probably,
How many do we have a day?
yeah.
No, it ranges from 60 on a given day to 90.
It's 60 to hopefully not many right now on the
Correct.
first day.
There are a couple.
There are a few, yeah, there are.
But, yeah, so it's a big part of the personnel side as
It
well.
is, absolutely. That's a lot of our onboarding is substitutes because you bring them on, they substitute one day, they leave. I mean, it's just the nature of the business. It's a temporary employment for somebody typically trying to find better employment or long-term stability. So a lot of rollover there, but
Thank you.
yes, sir.
Hearing no further questions, do I hear a motion to approve 7.01 through 7.19 on first reading?
Second.
First and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, writing? Thank you. We're now up to action items 8.01, Virginia School Board Association Delegate and Alternate Delegate Section. Do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair, I make a motion that Adam Wilson be the delegate to the ESBA Delegate Assembly, and you, Madam Chair, as the alternate.
I do have a question. Adam's not going to be there.
Do what?
Adam's not attending.
But I'll be there.
Okay, so you still would
Be
not?
the alternate.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't just make Debbie?
All right,
Okay.
I'll go ahead and,
Amend your motion.
amend it, yes. Madam Chair, I will, make my motion that you be the delegate, and
You,
I have to be the sergeant at arms.
Who else is going?
Sandy's going.
I've already said I would go.
Okay, wonderful. Would you like to be the
And Dr.
alternate?
Frederick as the alternate.
Thank
I was gonna
you.
nominate you, but you're gonna be the president.
All right, so we have myself as the delegate
Right.
and Sandy as the assist alternate. There's a motion. Do I have a second? Second, discussion. All in favor? Thank you. 8.02, final approval of revised 2026 budget and carryover supplemental appreciation request. Ms. Caldwell.
This is the annual where we adjust the beginning balances for Fund 314, which is Fiscal Agency Governor School, Mount Rogers, 315, the textbook, 316, facilities, 317. When we submit our budget, we submit it in February, so we just project the beginning balances, and this is actually just to true them up. Fund 312 is our general operating fund, and we're requesting the carryover of that for, it's the third year of our all-in, which is the per pupil funding, and some Medicaid money we received at the very last of the year, carryover unspent Medicaid funds, and $1,964,176 in obligated and encumbered funds.
Do I have any questions? Okay,
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the final approval of the revised FY '26 budget and carryover supplemental appropriation request as presented.
Second. Cheeks on you.
We have a motion and a second. Do I have any discussion? Hearing none, all of those in favor? Who's second?
Madam Jenny.
I defer to.
No, I'm fine, I'm fine.
Just saying.
All right,
Stand down.
8.03, salary scale amendment. Dr. Perigin.
Madam Chair, as we approved the salary scales for the 25-26 budget, it came to my attention after the salary scales were approved that all of our admin scales had 8 steps except for our elementary principal and our principal at the middle school. There's some others out there, but we don't have anybody on them. And to get consistency, I'm recommending that we add step 7 this year, and then for the 26-27 budget, I would recommend that we will add another step 8. And so that's the first 2 columns that you see there. And then there was a mistake on step 8 of the Dean of Students that we approved, and so this is just correcting it. Obviously, this is our first year for Dean of Students, so we've got, it didn't affect anybody, but just getting those things corrected. So really the major changes is adding steps to the elementary principal scale and the middle school CTE principal scale to get them consistent with the other administrative scales.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second? Do we have any questions?
Does this have any financial or fiscal impact on the appropriations we receive or for any part of the budget?
Yeah, there are 3 or 4 employees that will affect on the elementary and the middle school scale, but just by a couple $1,000s, and it's, we can absorb those in other areas.
Personnel.
Yes, sir.
Line item.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Any other questions, discussion? All of those in favor, right hand? Approved. Now, 8.04, 2025-2026 focus goal approval. Dr. Perigin.
Madam Chair, after our board retreat and our discussion at the last school board meeting, we are bringing these goals to you for final approval. Obviously, we've got a lot of sub-goals that are under that, but this is just the 9 focus goals that will drive the work of the division for the most part this school year. Developed through a couple of different avenues, started out with conversations with our leadership team, and we took those recommendations to the board, and that is how we've landed on these 9 focus goals for the upcoming school, or for our current school year.
Yes.
Is, when it's appropriate, can we see like a fleshed out version, like when we do see the sub-goals?
Absolutely, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, yes, absolutely.
Because especially like, oh, some are really big, like innovation and stuff,
Yeah.
like I would love to
Yeah.
see, like, just some of, just the strategic plan behind that.
Absolutely. Got it.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yes.
Can you elaborate just a little bit on goal number 9?
Yes, so we have some new policies that were approved at the state level. One of those being the math goal that Mr. Lance mentioned earlier. There's another goal about testing, and those are actually, they were approved, but now looks like they're in flux and changing. But we're going to have to change, for example, potentially our exam policy, because now it depends on if the law stays in effect, but there's some talk that it's going to change. Students' SOL scores will have to be at least 10% of their final grade, and that does not jive with our current exam policy. And so, and high school exams will have to be, some middle school and all high school exams will have to be given in the last 2 weeks of school. So that will also affect whether or not we're able to give high school exams. And so that means that we'll have to change our policies to be in line with the state code. That seems to be ever changing.
I do suspect in session we'll see scholars bills.
Yeah.
All right. Do I hear
Madam
a
Chair, I move for approval of the 2025-26 focus goals.
Second.
all in favor? Thank you. 8.05, health savings account contribution. Dr. Perigin.
Madam Chair, I just have a couple slides. If it's fine with the board, I will just stay at my seat and have Dr. Wallace take us through. We've been talking about improving our employee benefit package. One of the things that we've kind of been hinting about or teasing about over the summer is how we can change our HSA that we have with our high deductible plan. And so to give you a little bit of history about our $3,000 or high deductible plan, we currently provide a $2,400 health savings account for employees who take the high deductible insurance plan, and that's whether it's employee only, employee plus spouse, employee plus child, employee plus children, or employee and family. So that all groups get the same HSA amount. That's an increase. It was $1,500 in FY24. Keep in mind that by making that change, a lot of folks switched over to the high deductible plan, and we ended the year with 174 employees on the high deductible plan, and that was about an increase of 120 from one year to the next, and that was because of the increase in the HSA, and I think because of the good education that our personnel and HR department provided for it. Claims also went down by almost $600,000 as it compares from FY25 to FY24. So, there's a lot of reasons that go in that, but certainly part of that is because of the number of folks who went over to the high deductible plan. And part of the claims that they normally would have been made have been made with those HSA money that they have. And of course, when you're on a high deductible plan, you shop around more as you're looking for the services that you're getting for when you're ill or when injured or what have you. And so, what I'm recommending that we do for this upcoming year, which we will be starting open enrollment on Wednesday, is to increase the health savings account to $3,000 for employees who choose the family high deductible plan. And here's the rationale for that. Currently, we have 125 employees who are on other family plans. That could be the $500 deductible, the $1,000 deductible, or the $2,000 deductible. If all 125 of those employees switch over to the high deductible family plan, it would save the division $57,000 in premiums alone, not to mention the change that it would have in claims. On the employee side of things, if all 125 of those employees make that switch, it would save those employees $400,000 annually, and that depends on which plan they're coming from. If they're coming from the $2,000 deductible plan to the high deductible plan, that would save them $1,700. But if they're going from the $500 deductible plan to the high deductible plan, it would save them $3,700 a year. And in addition to that, they would still get a $3,000 HSA. We looked at the employee only, the employee plus child, the employee plus children, the employee plus spouse. And it does, even as it is now with the $2,400 HSA, it still provides great savings to our employees, but it doesn't provide savings to the division. So I'm not making a recommendation to increase that. So we would have anybody who's on the family plan, if you approve this, they would get $3,000 HSA, and anybody else on the high deductible plan, regardless of which plan they take, they would get a $2,400 $2,400 health savings account.
Do we have any questions?
How many indicated that they would go to this high?
We have not asked. By upping from 1,500 to 2,400, we had about 100. This past year, we had 120 people make that switch. I don't know, and a lot of those were not on the family plan. We had a few go over to the family plan. Most of those were on the employee-only plan. And so I don't know if all 125, I doubt it. There's a lot of fear out there about high deductible plans. When you do the math, it really works out. Every family, though, has to look at it from how it makes sense for them and their family. But as you can see, if you just look at the premiums alone, without even getting the HSA, it's a big savings for families. But, I think that it would increase, but to tell you how many I think that it would increase, if one increases, if we get by one, there's savings for the division. And so it's really a no-lose situation for the division, and really a no-lose situation for the employees, especially since employees can choose whichever plan that they want, whatever they're comfortable with. This is just another good option for us to have in our tool belt as we're trying to recruit and retain the best employees.
Did you have any feedback from the ones that did switch last year? Like, were they pleased with it? Have you heard anything? Are they planning on staying?
I'll ask Dr. Wallace.
Yeah, we've had no negative feedback.
Okay.
That's probably the best way to say it, truthfully. I mean, usually you hear feedback if people switched over, this didn't work or that didn't work. We have definitely had positive feedback. I'm not saying from every one of them, but most, again, I've had no negative. And I have had positive people saying it was a great option to move from, I moved a couple of years ago myself, just throw it out there personally. I mean, I got 4 kids and, 6 of us in the family. It's been beneficial financially for us. So.
So another data point that I would like is as we enter in open enrollment a year later, do we have people that go from 125 employees back down because perhaps they did not find it to be beneficial
So
for their...
currently 174, and I don't know, we'll definitely try to track those if we can. I guess we can track it individually. We can definitely track the numbers.
I will say that since just as a small indicator, we were an HRA years ago, 500, so there's no HSA, you didn't get to keep it. Then we started increasing. We've grown every year. So, we've not seen people go to it and go back over the last 3 years, I will say that. Now, we don't know what will happen this year, obviously, but if you look at the past 3 years of data, now we've increased, some of the amounts that's going in there, but we've not seen people move backwards.
And part of that's because we've educated folks on
Yeah.
that could be possibly a benefit to their
Sure.
family. I will say I would encourage employees that when you have open enrollment and you can have a sit-down session. I mean, my husband and I went and sat down and we talked about all of our options, and the representative did a great job kind of charting that out for us and helping us pick the best plan for our family. So I think, we have those sessions available for a reason. The other thing is we need to continue. We talked about on the insurance committee, a lot of our employees don't know about the app that we have with Anthem and some of the other benefits that we have with Anthem. And we need to do some work there on making sure that our employees know all the benefits that come with that particular company.
And our in-house clinics that we have, now we're doubling those this year. That's another way to save money as well. So yeah, I absolutely shared all the resources and benefits that are out there and available. That also helps with claims going down as well. The fewer emergency, if you go to the emergency room because you have a sore throat, that is probably not helping our health insurance plan overall. And the high deductible plan helps people make better decisions about that as well.
Yeah, that's the big thing. They don't tend to do that if they're on the high deductible.
I do have a question. Do you feel also with the matter of claims coming down, do you think that our health claims, is that with staff having access to health care?
Yes, absolutely. The health clinics, they're already seeing business already, and we've just been in school for 3 days, students and staff as well, and having staff be able to, last time I checked at the end of the year last year, we were just a little over 50% staff usage over student usage, so our staff is taking benefit of that as well.
Awesome.
Does our staff have to, if they do not want to change their insurance, do they have to do anything with open enrollment, or they just stay status quo?
If they don't change,
They don't want to change or anything.
if they don't do anything, it would default to what they're set at.
I think Dr. Fisher's a good point. Communication is the key. We've got to get that out.
So right?
Except for the FSA, but yes, health
Yeah.
insurance, right?
Right, correct. You'd have to declare on the FSA if you want to take money. That's an annual. But you can go through that without going sitting down. If that's what you don't have to sit down. You can do the online. But we do encourage. I would tell you, new teacher orientation. I asked every person. I said, we're telling you need to sit down because this is an important part of your benefit package as your salary is.
Okay, any other questions?
Do we have to financially, though, at some point with increasing the HSAs to where we reach a point where it's not beneficial for the schools?
Yes, sir.
If you don't have savings, then we can't keep giving.
Yes, exactly. And that's why, my thought going in is that we would up the HSA for all those plans. But when we did the calculation, it didn't make sense for employee plus one, employee plus spouse. It didn't make sense. It's still saving us money on the employee plus family.
Right.
But it doesn't in the other areas. But it still makes sense for the employee.
Okay.
It's still a good benefit for the employees on those other plans as well.
But are we in the negative on the employee or employee plus
No,
one?
we're in
The savings still outmatch what
yeah.
we're providing.
There's one of them that's $200 difference over the course of the year. It's $2,200. It's $2,200 versus the $2,400 HSA. But the others are still savings for the division.
What's the maximum out-of-pocket cost for the high deductible plan?
For a family is $6,000. Yeah. Plus ones or children is 3,000 and then another 3,000. So 6,000 total.
All right, do I hear a motion to approve the health savings account as presented by Dr. Perigin?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All of those in favor? Thank you. 8.06, 2526, Emergency Response Guides, Dr. Wallace.
Madam Chair, I'd really just like to say up front that we had an intern that had to do some administrative hours, and she was willing to take us on our guides. You know, we've done a lot with them over the years. 10 years ago, we had some that had 100 pages, some that had 50 pages. I talked to you about that before. She took them this year and converted them all to the same format, same page. I mean, it was a big undertaking, but she's done a great job. So I want to give a shout out certainly to Lindsay Williams for that. And everything that we've done along the way, she's been willing to, even after her hours for her master's degree were completed, she's been willing to jump on board and get this completed. But what you have in front of you is the emergency response guides for all 16 facilities. There will be a few tweaks, as I said when I sent out to you, that they'll put some new names in, people that are certified in Narcan and things like that, epinephrine. But for the most part, they are as they will appear as we send them out to first responders, which has to be done by the end of August. So, looking for your all's approval.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion, we approve the emergency response guides presented tonight by Dr. Wallace.
Second.
Will these be posted on their website? No. Okay.
Classroom use, we try to keep them not out in the public.
Sorry, Madam Chair.
That's okay.
So my only concern is I understand the reason of not wanting them in the public. Can we remove, they're probably plastered right over all over the.
That's only administrative content.
Oh, so the public,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's why I
sorry,
didn't-
apologize.
That's why, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, like I'm logged in, like Ghosty, not in my
Thank
account.
you.
See, that's what it looks like.
I'm always logged in,
No,
so I didn't know. I'm
great
so sorry.
question.
It's on top.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? It is approved. Now we're to 9.01, new business. Ms. Rastig.
So I've already emailed Dr. Perigin and spoke to him in person, but I think our theme for this year about being a bean, I'm just so inspired by it and so excited about it. I loved convocation and showing off those employees that are already being a Coffee Bean employee, and I don't want it to end there. So my new business is that we continue to show off these Coffee Bean employees throughout the school year with our school board meetings. And me and Dr. Perigin, maybe that could be principals or staff, Ms. O'Neill, other staff members nominating their employees.
All right. Do I have any other new business?
One, I spoke with you, Madam Chair, and I think Dr. Brandon and Dr. Perigin about this. I'm tickled to death about our new auditorium seats. The thing about it is I would love to see those little desks on about 30 of them in the middle section. So we could have small group classes or down in the auditorium if we needed to. And I would think Mr. Baldwin could, just a little bit of money, I don't know how much, just investigate. I'm not saying we're going to do it, but it would be a good help to our schools, especially our high schools, because they use the auditorium for, maybe some small group testing or just when they're in there with the senior groups to fill out forms and things. It's not, it doesn't look bad. Just fold it down when they're not using it. Use it like a regular seat, but not in all of them. Just a few in the middle section. I could probably get a count because we had them at Marion Senior and a Chilhowie put in like that. But really been helpful. So.
Any other comments?
We've
Yes.
talked about this a couple of times, but I would like to hear from our ed leadership cohort. And I know they've worked on some projects that were beneficial to the division, and it'd be nice to hear them report about their experience, since that was a goal that we had last year.
Okay. Hearing no more comments. 10.01, unfinished business. Do we have any?
We do. We talked at the last meeting about different options for attending board meetings when board members are not able to be with us in person. We can do Zoom or Google Meet meetings from here. However, our current camera system does not have that software. Jason is working with that software company to come in and get that uploaded. And so we'll check the price on it first. And if it's affordable, then we'll add that, and then we'll have that opportunity. We could do it either way. We could either do it by phone, if that makes the most sense for the board members that are not able to be there, or we could do it by Zoom or Google Meets if that is their board member's preference. So we don't have the software currently. Right now, if we did it, we would just be showing the audience.
All right.
I appreciate you checking on
Yeah.
I did just want to know, it's not on here, but I did get a picture that Abingdon High School has rails at the stadium, so I appreciate that.
2 of the 3 are done. Third one's ball's in motion. And that's John Bowden.
I
Yes,
saw
ma'am.
the rails over there.
Okay, any other? Well, we will go to 11.01, update by board. Let's start with Miss Sandy, please.
All right, just a few things. First of all, we didn't really talk about this at the board retreat because we're still in the middle of summer, but the number of summer camps that were happening in Washington County was kind of unbelievable. I felt like this summer, I know I was, just because of where I work, I was able to see some of the theater camp at Emory and Henry, and there was like over 100 kids there. It was just packed every day. But also our resource officers and other organizations in the community. I mean, if you had a kid at home, they did not have to be at home. There was something for them to do in Washington County. So I really appreciate how our central office staff coordinates with other groups to offer some of those in-house, but also outside, making sure our families know those opportunities are there for their kids. I met with the principals and assistant principals at Abingdon High, Abingdon Elementary, Watauga Elementary, and E.B. Stanley Middle School, and I took about 4 pages of notes of all the things that happened this summer just to prepare for this school year, and it was really amazing the amount of work that took place over this summer. And also our custodians just making our buildings look great. I have a relative that's a teacher in another state, and when they walked into their classroom last week, it was not clean. The floors were not waxed. In fact, they had to spend their own money to clean their classroom. And so I don't, I don't take that for granted, the amount of work and effort that our maintenance folks put into making our buildings look so great for not only our students, but also for our employees to have a good place to work. So thanks to Dr. Wallace for making sure those things get done, and Mr. Baldwin for making sure all the lists are checked off before school starts. Just to put on your calendars, Beat the Falcons night is going to be August 21st at the Farmers Market, and we believe it's at 6, maybe 6:30. It'll happen either way, but that's a great chance for the community to come out and support the fall sports for Abingdon. And also I wanted to reiterate what some of the other board members said about convocation. I thought it was great. I thought it was memorable. You can get in a rut with convocation, but I don't think that was a rut at all. I think people will remember that. I was at Patrick Henry High School with the middle school folks, and I also noticed that we had Jack Burkmeyer there, which I wish I could have stayed for. I'm sure it was great. But, I think it just you all did a great job planning and having fun activities and making sure people were heard at convocation. So just very enjoyable event. So good job to Central Services here. And that's all I have.
Renee?
I am just so excited about the school year. I called Dr. Perigin last week and was like, I have a lot of energy. I'm really excited. And convocation started on that. I was able to, during in-service, to go speak to the nutrition staff and then to speak to the nurses. So I was really excited about that. And then Thursday, I was at Greendale, and it was all smiling faces but one, and I won't name any names. But it was, it wasn't him. It might have been a relative of his. And then Friday, I was able to go to Abingdon Elementary. I will say, my Friday kids were already feeling a little tired, so I just encourage them. It's Friday, then they get the weekend. But no, really, all the students seemed very happy and engaged. The teachers were all excited. Abingdon Elementary looks amazing, and I love their baseball theme because I'm a huge baseball fan. So just super excited about this school year.
Thank you. Mr. Wilson?
Well, went to VSBA conference on education and really enjoyed that trip. Had a good time, learned a lot, met a lot of people, of course, from around the state. Encourage everybody to go if they can. Convocation was wonderful. I went to John Battle, of course, where all the elementary teachers were, and our auditorium was very full. After the Pledge of Allegiance, we all sat down, and it was quiet. There was no squeaks, there was no anything with the new seats, and the new seats were very, I even mentioned that to you, I was like, did you hear that? Yeah, and Dwayne Ball was there as well. He was very impressed with him. Dr. Ball sat there with him, very impressed. The new seats are really, really nice, and the floor, the whole, it just brightened the entire auditorium up. But everybody there was tickled and happy, and went to Valley Institute on the first day and walked pre-Kers and kindergartners through the bubble machine to the front door. They were all skipping, laughing, and running and having the best time in the world. So teachers and staff there are happy and ready to go. So wonderful first week of school.
Madam Chair, just to talk about the auditorium seats, and that we will have all three of the handrails at all the stadiums here real soon. Holston's new auditorium seats will be in at the end of the month, and then Patrick Henry will happen over Christmas break, and then as soon as school lets out in the spring, Abingdon High School's auditorium will be done as well. So it is. You know, that was one of the negative comments we got back about convocation was from the people that weren't at John Battle. Saying those uncomfortable seats.
Okay, Lee. Okay. Sanders.
Yes, ma'am. Great opening to school. I went to Meadowview, and the floors were shining. The students were safe. The students coming in, and I say the floors were shining. Commend the custodians up there, especially Mr. Lloyd. I spoke with Mr. Lloyd on Friday before he passed away, and I told him, I said, Mr. Lloyd, I said, these short floors sure look good. He said, I want to tell you something, Mr. Henderson. I told the guys I want these floors to look as good as my first year, as they did my last year when going in retirement. And he was happy as a lark. But anyway, the students were safe. The kids coming in to the school were hugging the resource officers. They wanted their pictures made of the resource officers. Miss Puckett and them had like you have for signing date. They had the Mustang backdrop, so they got to get their pictures made with the resource officers or parents or whoever at the backdrop. And also, they felt welcome. I mean, they were happy to get there. They were jumping out. His little pre-K, he about ran over the top of me. I knew he's a pre-K because he had his name in pre-K. I said, hey, buddy, I got to get to school. I said, okay, I'm going. But anyway, so, and I'd like to, Dr. Frederick said something about Meet the Falcons on the 21st. Dr. Brandon and I have Meet the Rebels Wednesday night at Patrick Henry the 13th. And as for convocation, I had one of my former employees that's working for us down here in Washington County, and she said, I want to tell you something. And I didn't even prompt her this. I just said, how's your first day of school, first part of the school year been going? She said, let me tell you something. That convocation was something. She said, you didn't have these stiff collar speakers and administrators standing up there telling you what we're going to do this year. They really showed their self, their inner self. So I feel like that these people, our employees, got to understand that we are, as administrators, we are people too. We're not just stiff collars. So thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Nichols.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, I guess I want to begin by also echoing what Mr. Wilson referenced, that many of us on the board were able to attend the VSBA conference on education, and it was really energizing to be able to just have camaraderie as a board, but also alongside many passionate leaders from across the Commonwealth. And I found the sessions really insightful, and I learned a lot, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be able to engage with my colleagues and board leaders from across the state who are committed to strengthening public education. And I also want to share about the first day of school. But before that, we attended for the new teacher orientation, and I think pretty much everybody was there. And it was just such an incredible day at Wallace, and I'm really excited about I don't know if you can call it a new class of teachers, a cohort of teachers that are coming through. I mean, they really seemed very excited and ready to go. I know they're going to do a great job. And also I know that from a central office standpoint, they're going to be really well supported in their journey, as being educators. And excuse me, the first day of school, I had the privilege of joining Delegate Israel O'Quinn at High Point Elementary. And it was just nothing short of awesome, because we were watching the buses roll in, high-fiving kids as they were getting off the bus. Cindy Jackson, I know everybody was talking about the shiny floors. Her floors are shiny too, but however, she and her son did landscaping and mulched and had just the front of her building so beautiful. She had all these flower arrangements. You'd think you're walking up on someone's front porch of their house, the way that she has everything. Just so beautiful and welcoming. And just seeing how the educators were really excited to welcome their students. It was a really powerful reminder of why we do this work. And I'm also really thankful for state electeds like Todd Pillion, Delegate O'Quinn, and all of our state level leaders who continue to advocate for Washington County schools, because their support does make a real difference. And also, as we kick off this new school year, I'm just really excited, and I'm full of optimism and pride. Our students are ready, our teachers are prepared, our community's behind them, and I really look forward to cheering on our cross country, football, volleyball, golf teams, and of course our phenomenal marching band. And Aberdeen's okay too.
Patrick Henry. Don't.
I'm just playing. But I really just intuitively feel this is going to be a year of growth and celebration and continued excellence. And I'm really excited just to watch it 25-26 unfold. And that's all.
Well, I was so excited about the convocation that I went home and ordered that book off of Amazon.
I done read it.
So I've already read it. It's a wonderful book, very enjoyable. I attended the VSBA Educational Conference, and I attended 2 meetings on SPED. And I'm just so thankful for our SPED leaders that we have here. We're way above, and we know what we're doing, and it spoke volumes of what others are dealing with. And then I guess the highlight was I visited Ray Valley, Damascus, and Holston, but I helped with car rider duty Thursday and Friday. And on Thursday, I helped kids get out of the car, and there was a grandma pulled up, and she was in tears. She said, "You got my 2 boys out when they were in pre-K, and now you're taking my 2 grandsons in." Now, that made me feel real old, but it really, did bring joy to see that. And it was a great opening in our area. All right.
Madam Chair, I just can't, there's a lot of good things said about pre-service and convocation, but Tammy, did a great job helping plan that, our central services team, and then our building administrators, they were really all in on this whole theme. So it was truly a team effort. It really was. But thank y'all for, I know that they'll appreciate those nice words too.
I forgot one thing.
Okay.
Our
Have
student,
my time.
our student from Washington County is now graduated. My son Clint went to do his final project as a student on the governor's advisory board last month and they did projects. And his was on CTE centers getting their credentials, et cetera. And the Secretary of Education, he worked with another young individual, I forget where they were from throughout the state, but the two of them presented this, of course, to the governor. And the Secretary of Education was going to use their presentation in one of her deals here in the next couple of weeks. So, yeah, pretty neat little deal. That was his final Washington County duty. So,
Tim, we much appreciate
I
it.
told him he didn't want to present it, but he's okay.
No. All right, Sandy.
I wasn't out of school on Thursday because I was in the car rider line for Abingdon High and EB State. And I was a little worried on Thursday because we left like a half an hour early, and I live at exit 17. So I was a little worried, but by Friday it was quick. This morning it was quick. We were actually really early. So I really appreciate like the Abingdon Fire Department, Police Department, and the Abingdon Works for like nudging the lights, the intersections and things. That was a great collaboration by all, and we're going to make it through Valley Street being closed.
I will tell you, the afternoons out here are the best I've ever seen them.
Yeah.
Now, I told them if they could just keep that road closed for the rest of the year, that'd be great. Because afternoons are much better. with
We've
that
probably
traffic.
got 300 kids at Abingdon High who are in after-school
Yeah. But
activities,
it was,
so that helps.
Yeah, Mr. Hockett and of course Ms. Hogue helped with the communication part, working with the town. That was really a good collaboration between everybody. We appreciate that teamwork.
Hearing none. Resolution to end open session.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that the board convene in closed session after a 5-minute break for the purposes of discussing the following matters as authorized by Section 2.2-3771A of the Code of Virginia. Section 2.2-3711A2, request for relief from compulsory school attendance and religious exemption, 2025-2026, cases 7 through 9. Section 2.2-3711A1, discuss the appointment, performance, and salary and related benefits of the division superintendent. Consider employment of specific individuals. Consider employment of specific individuals contingent upon successful completion of background check. Consider change of working hours for specific individuals. Consider transfer of specific individuals. Consider long-term medical leave of specific individuals. Consider resignation of specific individuals. Sorry, I do say specific individuals, so it gets fun. Consider retirement of specific individuals. Consider specific individuals with non-teaching assignments to receive coaching supplement only and subject to 1, VHSL approval, and 2, within number of positions approved for coaching.
Second.
All of those in favor? We are now closed session. After 5-minute break.
Okay. Did you get your
Yeah.
I was
Loved it.
I was